going on, folks?
Hey guys.
MeMaOnCloudFetti, back at it
Again.
this week. We have an awesome topic, which is unanswered questions that women have for men. Okay, and I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 million, 1,000, gazillionth. Just giving you my perspective on how I feel. She's gonna be asking me the questions. It's gonna be from anonymous people. We won't mention y'all names.
That's right.
We do appreciate y'all feedback. Keep sending it. Questions, suggestions. We're all open every time. All right, let's kick it off.
All right. So, ladies, you know I'm married and everything, but I was once single like you guys. So I threw in some of my questions too that I had when I was single, plus what you guys sent in to us. So let's get it started, okay? And we are recording, but messages are still coming through. So, first question is, where are the men with sense hiding? I'm convinced that chivalry has died. What do you think, Mr. Fetter?
I'm convinced that it's pretty much dead also. You may get a couple of guys that will be creative, you know, take an old school, you know, things that they've picked up on because they want to be different, or maybe things that they've seen their father do to their mother, or dating, what have you. But also I think people do whatever they're allowed to do. So as long as we realize we don't necessarily have to do that, you know, to get sex or what have you, we'll keep not doing it until there's a demand for us to do it, and then we'll do it. It's just the trend of what's going on. So
all right, I feel like that's just BS, okay? I mean, you giving us the real, but you were not like that. So, I mean, this is, I guess I'm going to ask, do you think chivalry is just dead based on attraction? Like, the chivalry comes out depending on the person. Like, could it be that one man is so attracted to a woman that she brings that side out of him, and that some other women don't provoke that emotion in another man? Like, is it dead based on attraction or what that person brings to the table, or you just think it's dead all across the board? Because he was Mr. Romance. Like, he was trying to woo me, okay? Homeboy kissed me on the first date. So don't believe what he's saying, speaking on behalf of this guy.
assertive.
You were. I was like, really? You was going to kiss me like that? But, yeah, like,
so okay,
there's
so
people that's still getting married, and you see romance. I know people do it for the gram, but you see people doing romantic gestures. So, like, just, elaborate. What do you think on that?
I think a certain woman or certain women will bring out that creativity factor. With you, obviously, you did do that. Did I do that with every woman that I dated? No. Did I want to? No either.
Okay.
Because they did not bring that out in me.
Okay.
You have to want to put in the effort. When it comes to dating, and if a guy think he has to do that prior to meeting to you,
Yeah.
no, he doesn't necessarily feel he has to go that far. When I started dating you, I was coming up with ideas of different things that we can do, how to keep things going. I really was enjoying your company.
Okay.
So I wanted to wow you, like you said. So
Alright.
Subconsciously, you did bring that out of me. But just like going to church and wearing jeans, or going to a play with a polo shirt on, it's not like how it used to be.
Okay.
So overall, yeah, it's dying down. I don't think you can pretty much expect a guy is going to bring you flowers on a date anymore without first dating you.
So
it's random, rare.
Okay. So you're saying that it is dead, or that case by case scenario.
Overall, the majority of it, yes, I would say 70-80% dead.
Damn, you ain't giving them nothing to look forward to. Only 30%.
I'm being honest. I told you I was gonna keep it a buck. I don't want you to go on a date next week and the dude ask if you're gonna pay the bill, because then you're gonna blame me.
Okay. I like to see the good in a bad situation or whatever. So I take it like this, ladies. If you have a dude that's romantic, because I can't even pronounce that word properly. Romantic, that wants to court you, take you on dates, buy you flowers, then that means you're on the right track and you are provoking something in him that's making him want to do it just effortlessly.
Sometimes isn't it too much? Sometimes this guy gonna be too much with the romance.
Lord Jesus.
And then it's smothering, and y'all don't like that. So I think that has somewhat
I feel like
to do with that too, where they want to pace themselves maybe, or think it's corny or overdoing it.
You're supposed to be helping the people. You got me confused. But I just feel like you only feel a guy is doing too much when you're not interested in him. When you're not interested in him, you be like, he too extra, he too much, he called me too much, he always checking on me, he always too clingy. That's when you don't like a dude. When you like a dude, he could be like, oh, he gave me a pack of gum. It was so romantic. Like, you get wowed by anything when you like a dude. So I feel like when you don't like somebody, the same thing, like when the interest is not there, you don't want to be romantic to a chick. The same thing with women. We feel like you're doing too much if the interest is just not really there. Like, oh, he being mad extra. He gave me flowers last weekend to this week.
You're right.
So,
if you like the person, it makes a big difference where you like, you know what? I'm going to do this.
So, to answer y'all questions, after 15 hours, chivalry is not dead. It just depends on the person and the interest level. We're going to end it at that.
It's fair enough.
All right. So, the next question that I'm going to say on behalf of one of the people that wrote in. Do men like to be pursued, chased? Like, for instance, a scenario. You in the bar chilling with your homeboys. You see a chick, she looking bad. She giving you eye contact. You giving her eye contact. But you don't say nothing. You kind of fall back. You just chilling. You enjoying the vibe. If she approached you, would that make you feel like, wow, man, this woman is about her business, or she probably in this bar every night approaching men? Like, do men like to be chased or pursued?
I would say overall, they want to be the one doing the chasing. However, it is refreshing when a woman approaches me. If I'm chilling, we exchange eye contact. She see I'm not going to do it. She been wanting to do it, not like that. But yeah, it gasses me up. I can pat myself on the back like, okay, she came to me this time. I must be doing something right. So I think it's definitely a positive thing, and it shows a woman is confident. She knows what she wants. She doesn't want to beat around the bush or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a bad thing where I gotta fall back where it's too much. If it's stalking and stuff like that, as far as pursuing, then that's when it's like, relax, or I gotta cut you off because you crazy. So I think that's the thin line between it. But in general, you looking good, I'm looking good, you beat me to it, all right, you win. I'm not gonna fight you over who's gonna talk over who first.
All right. I mean, I think that's fair enough, because it's like after she approaches, it still has to, get to the point where it's like personalities play a part. If there's an attraction, if she's not a ditz, she got something going on for herself. If she really cool, you vibing. So, yeah, like he said, men like to be the chasers, but they don't mind if you ladies come up to them and talk to them. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's all about attraction anyway, right? So
they're gonna think you different. It's gonna spark things as far as when y'all go on a date or if y'all exchange a drink. It's opening something up. Like there's something to build up on because it's a different situation for them. Next question.
All right. Okay. For women who hear, you look intimidating. That's why guys don't come up to you. Why? Is that true? Do y'all feel like, oh, she too intimidating, I ain't going up to her? Do y'all even think like that?
It's some women that's like that. It's something about them with their aura, where they carry themselves.
Okay.
The way they walk into a room, or the way they ask for something. Maybe they order a drink a certain way. They bossed up in a suit. they looking decked out. So then the guy's like assessing that whole situation.
Okay.
Like, wow, okay, you know, let me see how I'm gonna get at that because she look like she a boss. So how am I gonna approach this? You know, usually the guy's gonna let her know like, oh, I'm a boss too. You know, I can rock with you. Guess what? And then, you know, maybe you feel like he gotta do that with you. In most cases, we don't have to. It's just about being yourself. But a woman could look intimidating.
Okay.
It varies.
So, what do you suggest for a woman like that? Like, I mean, if you a boss, you don't want to come off like you a punk. You know, you don't want to come off like that. So, do they have to dumb down who they are?
I personally don't believe anyone should change who they are. If they're aggressive and overly vulgar and stuff like that from the gate within any type of conversation interacting with people, then I think that needs to be toned down. If multiple people are telling you that, not just guys, then it's like, okay, you know, relax, chill. You know, we having a laid back vibe. You coming too forceful. But in general, for a woman to tone herself down and falling back, that doesn't sound good in any type of situation. Be yourself. People appreciate that because I think after guys or the opposite sex gets to know you and then realizing you're not so intimidated after the conversation, then it's different, you know. But you're gonna have people that look at you and perceive you as something you're not just because of the way your shoes shine and stuff like that. You can't get caught up in that. It will drive you crazy. Just be yourself at the end of the day.
All right, fair enough. It's true. I feel like the right man will be brave enough to approach you if you do come off intimidating. So they got man up.
You're gonna get turned on, like, yo,
man
wow.
up. All right. So, next question. What the hell does it mean when a man won't tell you how many sexual partners he had?
You think you're gonna judge him? He think if it's a lot, you may only be someone else that he wants to add to the list.
We do. I would definitely think that.
Or like, oh, you used to be a player back in the day. Wow. You know, so now with me, you calm it down. Like it opens up another can of worms.
Yeah.
So there is no real right or wrong answer because I think if you told a woman like 10 or 20, there's going to be some woman that's like, oh, well, I see you've been busy. Like, especially if they haven't done a lot, then they might make it extra dramatic or try to. So, I mean, there's no right answer, but I think that's why a guy would. Or if he personally feels it's been a lot. It's all about how people feel about you judging them. You know?
Okay. Good answer. Next question.
Let's go. Keep it coming.
All right, chat. All right. So, there's layers to this question. So, I know it's not about me answering, it's him, but I'll have to chime in some point because that's who I am. So, this person wrote, at one point, she's responding to me. No, she's asking me actually. At what point did you realize you were worthy of love, acceptance, and marriage? I'm sorry. Let me reread that. Came out in different levels. Okay. As a plus-size woman, it's 10 times harder to date, and I'm sure women who are bigger tend to have lower self-esteem. With that said, how did you approach the dating scene? At what point did you realize you were worthy of love, acceptance, and marriage? I'm going to keep this smile on my face, but I have to address all the levels, okay? And then he can chime in too. But first, what made you think I had low self-esteem? Second, all plus-size women don't have low self-esteem. Third, I always believed that I was accepting of love and marriage. The struggle along the way to find it may have made me feel like, will it ever happen? Yes. But I always felt that I was worthy. The same way I felt I'm worthy of success all great things and blessings. My life is a prediction of that. It takes a lot of courage to be an entrepreneur. It takes a lot of courage to pursue your dreams and your passions. And it takes a lot of courage to stand firm in what you believe in. So, with that being said, I always had confidence. Because if I didn't, my life wouldn't be the way that it is. Now, the love life part of it, I always felt I was worthy of love. Because I've always been such a strong-willed, passionate person. Like, I believe that I should get everything that I want. I feel like I'm a good person and I should get that in return. And I'm not going to settle. So, all what you're writing is off of your perception and beliefs. You know, some plus-size women do tend to have low self-esteem. I'm not one of them. But, you know, the way you wrote this question is like you assume that I did. And I don't.
Meanwhile.
Sorry. So, I think I answered your question, like, I was always confident, as you can see. You know, at 300 and something pounds, I was confident. I always had my hair, my makeup, face laid. I was a pretty girl always. Always kept myself up to par. So, weight never affected me in that way. Like, I always felt like when you look good, you feel good. And that would be my pick-me-up. By doing my makeup, doing my hair, getting a nice dress, looking cute. Those were the things that, you know, played into me feeling confident. So to answer your question, I don't believe in any of this that you wrote. I believe that there's people out there, but you addressed it to me, but it doesn't apply to me because that's just not how I felt. I always believed that I was meant for great things. My parents raised me with a lot of confidence. My dad is an entrepreneur. My dad and my mom are both positive people. They both accomplished many things and acquired all of their dreams and passions. And I grew up that way. So I never grew up thinking that I wasn't deserving of anything. So it's all about mindset. You know what I'm saying? If you write something like this, this is what your mind thinks. This is how you view plus size people. This is how you may view yourself. So that could be playing into a lot of the reasons of why you're not living in your passion, why you don't feel comfortable in the skin you're in, or why you don't feel like you will get what you want because you don't really think of I'm thinking that you're a plus size person because you're speaking on behalf of plus size people by the way you formed this question. So by this question alone, it shows that you don't think much of plus people. So that could be a struggle right there, you know. You are as good as you think you are. And if you don't think of yourself as much, then how can other people see you that way?
Amen. Chime in on that too. You know, everybody's worthy of love to me. Everyone is worthy of happiness, especially when you're a good person. Now, obviously, my wife is beautiful. I know her. But at the same time, one thing I can guarantee, she's a good person. So if she was a friend of mine and, you know, I wasn't attracted to her and she was telling these things to me about love, I would definitely know that she is worthy and one day she'd find someone because she is a hell of a person. So I think that's number one. There's a lid for every pot. So you got to believe that that's going to happen. And one day will come. What I was always told, and in my case, when you're not looking for it is when it happens.
Yes.
When I was dating her, I wasn't necessarily thinking about love. Like, I was like taking it one day at a time. I had a lot of things that I was juggling. So it came. And then it moved in such a way where I'm like, okay, now I got to adjust what I had going on to deal with this because I didn't see this coming. So, you know, that's how life works.
True. And this is why we are equally yoked. But, you know, I get this all the time, and it's like I said, it's at the same time that I feel good that I motivate people, I feel bad because it's like I'm tired of people putting plus size people in a box. Like, we are not all home fat, stuffing our face with ice cream and depressed, you know. We eating ice cream, but we happy, you know. Like,
a lot of boss chicks out here doing big things.
Exactly. So it's like, you know, I'm really sad to see this question because it's like it's not valid. You know, I know a lot of plus size women that are married. Like, I will say it again. You know, you are as good as you think you are. You can be a size 2 and feel like you're fat. You could be a size 2 and feel ugly and feel insecure. You know, everybody has their battles. You know, everybody puts plus size people in this box that they don't feel confident in. It's not true. You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta believe in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's all I can say about that. I think I tackled that question. Next question is, how do women maintain being sexy and attractive while not coming off as thirsty?
All about the way you carry yourself. Thirsty is, dressing extra revealing. I mean, unless it's like your birthday that night and you're like, I'm gonna do me and come through with a see-through dress. Women do it. It's their night. It's cool. You walk around with like a hole in your dress around the crotch area, the pants.
The hell?
Like that's thirsty. Where it's like, oh wow, she really going in, or she wants certain kind of attention.
Her ass cheeks hanging out the back of the dress.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
It does come off that way right away. Because men will be talking about it and women will be talking about it. Like, hey, you see what you look? I think that's the vibe. But overall, it's the way you carry yourself. If you looking decked out, like you got your hair done, your nails done, your shoes done, you just looking good. Don't let people say you're overdoing it.
Yeah.
Because you're not. If you want to go decked out every time you go out, you want to look your best, just like we do.
I'm living my best life.
Then do it. And you're not looking thirsty. And dudes will come to you because you're decked out. Nobody wants nobody looking like a bum, so
That's true. Listen, anybody who's saying that is insecure. Like, you ain't never doing too much, okay?
Yeah.
You see me for this video, we ain't going nowhere after this. We're going right to bed. But I'm on camera. I want to look my best. This is just me. And, he's the same way. That's why I guess we, love each other. But it's like, you should always want to be your best. Anybody who's telling you you're doing too much or you looking thirsty, they kind of hate her, like, because they can't do it like you.
9 out of 10 times, yeah.
Well, if
you outdoing them, so it got them feeling away.
They're trying
so
to
say
tone
that.
you down. They're trying to tone you down.
Yeah, and it's like, be you again.
I mean,
all fall back to it. Do you?
If you inappropriate, like he said, like, like your ass cheeks is, your dress is too short, your breasts falling out your shirt, just doing things just to get attention, your thong, you can see it, stuff like that, yes. But if you're just looking good and there ain't nothing wrong with that, you should always look your best. What's wrong with that?
Thirsty.
Listen, I go to the mall like this sometimes and people be like eyeing me up like, oh, like, I'm sure they'd be like, oh, she mad extra. I couldn't be wearing all that makeup. I couldn't be doing all of that. No, because you can't do it. That's why. Like, stop hating, But I don't care what you want to do. This is what I'm doing. So don't let people try to dim your light telling you you're being too thirsty. Be your best at all times.
That's right.
All right. So another question was, how do you deal with an jealous and insecure partner? Like, how would you handle that? Like,
it's been coming up the older I've gotten. And now it's like a real big deal. It's scary. That's not a good sign for me when I'm in a relationship and my partner is jealous, or I can feel it, because not everybody's gonna come out and say stuff like that. But they may turn up their face away when you say something, or they seeing you do something, and they questioning why you're doing it as if you're not grown. So to handle that, one, and that's courtesy off of respect, because y'all in a relationship, y'all both adults. That conversation needs to be had. Like, well, look, I got ambitions. I plan on doing big things in my life. I get this type of attention. I'm making moves. Usually, I was making these moves prior to me meeting you. It was destined for this to happen. So you gotta roll with the program, or leave. Because I ain't got time for you to be questioning every move I make, because it's making you feel away. If it's not disrespecting you or compromising the relationship, you know what I'm saying, then you shouldn't be in a relationship with that. And if the person is jealous, you're gonna stay jealous. I mean, I can't see them after you having a conversation. You know what? I'm not jealous anymore. You convinced me.
It's true.
I was confused. I said the wrong thing. I take that back. No, you're probably jealous. You can't handle it. You know, and you don't want to be with nobody that they can't handle what you got going on. You want somebody that got something going on too, where they secure with themselves and what they're doing, where they don't have to be in the spotlight and they can fall back and let you be in the spotlight.
It's true.
But at the end of the day, they don't feel like it's a competition. You shouldn't be in competition in a relationship. Y'all should both be wanting to be great in whatever capacity it is, whether it's looking good, whether it's getting accolades up scholastically, whether it's making moves, growing with your passion. She makes me want to do my best in everything that I do, because I see that she does the best in everything she does. So it's a benefit on both our parts. So that's where it should be at. It shouldn't be like, you know what, I'm not going to rock the rollie today because my girl got on a silver-plated watch and she might feel away because my rollie's gold. Like, nobody got time for
What kind of example is that?
I'm just saying, people get jealous off of dumb crap, so I threw it out there, and sometimes it is ridiculous like that. So I'm not that far off with the example.
It's not far off, but I think more so on the lines like, where are you going? Who are you with?
Yeah.
When are you coming back? Who's that I hear in the background?
Insecure,
What, you know,
yeah.
I mean, there's people that's really dealing with that, and then it's like they kind of have to dumb down who they are, or they end up lying about where they're going because they have an insecure partner. Then it creates conflict.
They drive you crazy, and again, usually 9 out of 10 times, it's not worth the stress to begin with. The person usually isn't all that great to be fighting the relationship to keep the relationship going on.
I mean, but there's people that's married to people like this. Like, what do you say to people that are already married and maybe hopeful? Like, maybe, you know, sometimes people convince them, like, oh, I'm gonna change, I'm gonna be better.
The person,
you know?
the person that is jealous, you know, get over yourself. If you're worried about what your partner's doing, then that means you need to be doing something. You don't have to be worried about what they're doing. If they're making boss moves, they're working at their craft, they're doing their job, right? Again, they're not going to the club every night, that's different stuff. But if they're working at their craft and you still stuck somewhere, then, you know, obviously things take time, but at the same time, you're supposed to be working towards your craft too, researching it, where you ain't worried about what they're doing every hour of the day anyway. So that's the suggestion I would give, and then you don't have to think about them as much if it bothers you that much.
So, to sum that up, if you have time to be insecure and to be questioning everything your partner is doing, maybe you need a hobby, you know? Maybe you need to figure out what your passion is, or maybe you need to seek God. You know, we meet with our pastor every other week, you know, just to talk about what's going on in our life, how we feeling, if we had a rough week, if things are progressing, how we just, you know, like just to keep it fresh. We don't have issues, but we just like to check in with him. Sometimes you need to hear that word. Sometimes you need some positivity in your life. You know, sometimes you need somebody to preach over you and to give you that blessing of knowledge. So a lot of these people that are insecure, I just feel like sometimes they're lost. And because they're lost, they're reflecting that on their partners. You know, it's like, oh, why you so confident? Why you going away? Why you not insecure like me? Why you don't stay here with me and let's be insecure together? You know, and
it's not healthy.
It's not healthy because it's like you trying to be up here and they keep bringing you down. You're trying to go up here and they're bringing you down. So that's not a good relationship. You should always be right here, you know, with your partner. So if you're dealing with somebody who's insecure and they're not changing, they're not growing, it's time maybe for you to move out, ship out until they grow up, because insecurities is something, it's an inside job. It's not something that a partner can give them, you know. Insecurities, jealousy, hate, love, ambition, passion, it's all an inside job. So that's not really something that your spouse or your partner can give you. That's something that person has to want to fix.
That's within them that they gotta work out. They got nothing to do with you. You doing you.
All you can do is point them in a direction, pray for them, but at the end of the day, it's up to them to make that decision to deal with that insecurity and to change it.
Absolutely.
So, all hope is not lost, you know. People just have to want to change. You can't want it more for somebody than they want it for themselves.
Facts.
Okay. We're going to wrap this up soon, but I have another question, which is mine, that some ladies want to ask. Okay. Why do guys beat around the bush with commitment? Like, for example, have somebody like me that you was a smart man. You was such a smart man. Right? I think every year I get better, right? I think every day we both get better. Everybody gets better every day, right? But, you know, there's women out there, successful, beautiful, self-sufficient, confident, goal-getters, beautiful body, shape, hair, everything. Anything that you could write on paper that you would want, right? In a partner. There's a lot of women out there like that. But they keep bumping heads with these men that's like, I'll date you now, but when it's time for that long-term commitment talk, they running away. What is that about? Like, why do you entertain somebody like that and then hit them with the, it's not you, it's me?
Because the harsh reality could be that it really is them, in a sense where they got inner issues, where to hop over that hump, that next level, they're scared, they don't feel they can do it, they want to have their cake and eat it too, or they know they're going to get bored easily, and in the middle of it just stop it, so to prevent it from even going there, they don't want to do it. You know, so that's where it's like, oh, it's me, it's not you, it's me. Like, it's not just BS. They screwed up. That's why they're not in a commitment. And if they were single for that long too, vice versa, it usually takes a toll.
Okay.
Going into relationships.
Another part of that question. Now, I know many women, I ain't saying no names, that'll be like, sorry, I was dating this guy, I've been with him for 10 years, or I've been talking to him for 10 years, because they still ain't crossed the hurdle.
It's real life.
They still haven't crossed the hurdle of, this is my man, and, you know, whatever. Let's see you read it. Notifications keep coming in. But they haven't crossed the hurdle with that person, but they stick it in. They say they take 10 years hoping that one day that dude is going to be like, let's do this. What do you say to people like that?
The other partner is probably very comfortable. It's different layers to it, but men want to feel financially secure. If everything else is going right? They love you, you're there for them, you're a rider, it's passionate every time you guys are together, y'all make beautiful music together, whenever y'all work on things, y'all hold the household down, it's beautiful. If there's no problems with that, then there are a lot of insecurities in men, including myself, where financially, if they feel it's not right, they don't want to make that move.
Okay.
Sometimes, a lot of times, we are guilty of getting knee deep into situations and still be like, I can't make that move, even though, again, we've been going on this long, so it's not like intentional where we want to waste your time.
Yeah.
It's something we've hoped would have changed. It hasn't really got there yet, and until we feel secure enough, obviously, I don't think there's a magic number, sometimes there is, but then that's when we'll make the move. So if I got $20 in my account and you want to get married, I feel a little uneasy.
Okay.
And how it comes out and how I say it to you may not be ideal, and you know, that's the problem.
This is how I feel. I feel like I just feel like men, y'all may never be at that point.
That's true too. Meaning,
the more you get, the more you want. So you might be like, perfect example, right? My husband is he's money driven. You know, he's a finance guy. Like, he's about his coins. Like, he's very on top of his credit, his score, his bills, saving. That's just who he is, right? I'm a more let's live by today kind of girl, you know. But he balances
for me.
Yeah, he balances me. Like, I must say that he has put some structure in my life with my finances, because I was just all over the place. But this guy, you know, what do you feel is made it? You know, some people may feel like I remember when I first started dating, he was like, I don't think I'm good until I got 100 G's saved or something like that you said. And I'm just like, dude, you live in freaking New York. Like, you know,
Not
like...
reality, like... And it's true.
I mean, like...
I probably would have never got to that number. You know what I mean? It's possible. I don't want to think negative, but to feel comfortable and then have her waiting to get married because of that, it's not really realistic. I would have had to revise that number somewhere along the way.
That's the stuff he was on.
And the way things end up happening anyway, it didn't matter. And if I didn't take that chance, I would have known. Because like she said, I've lived my whole life being very calculated. I did pretty good with that idea on my own. But life changes. It throws you in different directions. You don't know what's going to happen. You're not going to be necessarily prepared for everything that comes up. So you're going to have to sometimes adjust those principles, which is what I had to do. And I did find out it's better for me. It's definitely less stressful. And peace of mind you have. And, you know, when you know you're blessed and all this, it's going to happen for you. So you can't kill yourself.
So, I mean, I don't know, ladies. Like, I used to try to, like, me and that was our battle. You know, it wasn't about if he loved me and stuff like that. Like, his battle was like, somebody told him, or that's just how he felt. Yeah, and he, like I said, he's a finance guy. He deals with numbers. He deals with accounts and credit and all that stuff. Like, he was in the banking for like mad years. So he's just thinking, this is how much money I have to live a good life. And that was just his goal for the whole time, and it still is. You know, but I was trying to explain to him that while we trying to reach that goal, we still got to live life. You know, we can't put our life on pause waiting. So what I'm saying to you ladies, or what I'm asking, you know, of you, is that some of you men have these ladies on standby, good women, waiting to get to this goal that may take a while to get to. Not saying you'll never get to it, but it's like...
So I think there's, as far as numbers, obviously that number has to be, like I said, revised and compromised. If y'all can find a way to help get there, because again, it's for the both of y'all, not carry the guy, but again, if there's some ways you can help, you know, blah blah blah.
Juggle it.
Yeah. Also, as far as guys and females wasting partners' time, fine tune on if that really is the case, or if he is BSing like you said, which I think a lot of women think that it's just BS.
No, trust me, I've seen people that have been in relationships, or they got like 2-3 kids and they're not married. You know, they're just telling you the same thing, like, oh, we're waiting to get this to save up enough money to get a house, or we're working on this first, like whatever. Like, the man is dictating, like, until these funds are here, we're not doing any of that marriage stuff, because it costs.
So then an alternative has to come about. We're like, okay, well, if I don't get here, then this is what we're going to do, or this is what else. But again, find out if it's real, seeing what they're going to do, if they're going to keep their word, or if they're going to just keep coming up with something. And you got to save time, and y'all ladies are creative. I'm sure y'all find creative ways to get to the nitty gritty within, like, say, a year of if this guy's for real, or is he going to come up with something else. And then, you know, find out you got to cut him off, and just move forward. You got to figure that out. But a conversation, again, has to be had. And it has to make sense. Mine didn't all the way make 100% sense. So I had to figure it out. I knew she couldn't wait forever. I wouldn't want anybody having me wait forever when it comes to something. So I had to be realistic. And I think that's what we all have to work on. Coming up with realistic strategies.
Together.
Yeah, exactly. That works for both parties. Now when you got somebody else involved, you can't be going off an idea that you had when you was by yourself. Because when you was by yourself, it's a little different.
It's true. When it becomes a union, it becomes two.
You gotta involve them in the equation.
Yeah,
you know, it gotta be beneficial. It gotta be, you know, more realistic.
Y'all men struggle to think like that. Like, we women, we are built to think for everyone. That's why I think we are the ones to carry children and to give forth and to hold the family down, because we're nurturers. You know, we know how to think for the whole family. You guys just know how to think for yourself. Like, how is this going to work? So we're here to be your partners. The Bible says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing.
It's a favorite line.
I keep telling him that. It don't say,
I ain't say I got bad things. Right.
She who finds a husband finds a good thing. It don't say that. It says, he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So when you find us, The rest is easy. I keep telling y'all ladies, and I keep telling y'all men, y'all holding out on that woman that could take you to the next level.
It has worked out for me that way, so I really can't go against that. It's less stress for me, less weight off my shoulders, and you know, her coming with her 2 cents sometimes really puts things in perspective. So I trusted it once,
I'm
and
so
it worked,
opinionated.
and ever since, smooth sailing. So I believe in it with the right person.
Fight me. He used to fight me a lot. Like, so don't think we don't have our things, but we used to bump heads a lot because he was like, I need to be making this, and ain't nothing happening until I get there. And I'm like, oh really? Well, take this back. Peace out. So you gotta come to a common ground. You can't just be all, he was like dictating what he was going to do and what I had to do, and it was like, oh no, that's the plan you have for you, that's not the plan I have for me. We're gonna have to meet together to make a plan for us, or we're gonna have to go and do our separate plans for ourselves apart. So communication, coming together, you know, ladies, like, I'm not saying all these, like he's saying, and he's being real with you guys, all men that say it's not you, it's me, like he said, it could be the timing. It could be bad timing. It could be insecurities. It could be like, I'm not financially stable. Now you could be in a situation where you're making more money than him, and he could feel inadequate about that. Like, well, I don't want her to carry the family. I want to be able to bring something to the table. So, you know, it's about both partners, and it goes back into confidence and being secure in yourself, you know, and not letting that play on you, because a lot of insecurities keep people from accomplishing things or moving forward in relationships because of what they think might happen or that person feels. So one more I had, and then we'll wrap it up. Do you believe in no. Okay, how long is too long to be dating somebody without a title, without like some form of commitment? Like, how long should you be dating somebody? Okay, let me rephrase that. As a man, right, when you meet a woman, is it true that in that first meeting you kind of know if this is somebody that I want to take seriously? Do you put them in a box, like, nah, I'll just call shorty on them late nights, or this is somebody that looking for marriage, or she too serious, she's too this and that? Do you guys know first off of meeting a woman, or that's something you have to continue to date? And if so, how long does it take for you to assess that?
Basically, you know, first impressions, the flow of the conversation, you can determine that. Obviously, a few dates, you know, you want to see where the conversation goes. You know, real easy for somebody to take the conversation left, start talking about something, but it's like, oh, word? I see you like that, then, you know, it ain't gonna work for me because I'm thinking this type of situation, or I want this. So I think when it comes to dating someone too long, rare exceptions, you know, different lifestyles of people are traveling and stuff like that, let's add a little bit more time. But I would say anything over
a year?
Nah. I'm thinking 7 to 8 months. If you guys just have been dating for 7 to 8 months, and you know there's really no real reason why, then it's like you guys are having fun. You know.
I like, oh damn, you was better than me. I was thinking a year. You like not quicker than that.
Why didn't you figure out, like, yo, somebody's supposed to be like, all right, you know, what's happening, you know. I'm sure within that 8 months too, y'all going like on some type of like trip or something, and if you're doing that, then that might be something that's leading towards a relationship.
So you mean there should be some 7 to 8 months in to
I like that. By then,
you should know
I
something.
would know where I want to go with this person.
Or what I want.
And I'd be ready with an answer if you ask me, because y'all like to ask in like weird situations, like while we're in bed or something. You know, like, hey, I was just wondering, when it's like, what? Like, off guard.
Where's this going?
So I would have, I'm going to have the answer, like, oh, she coming out, I'm going to tell her straight up, put it nice, you know, so she don't get the wrong idea, or, you know what, you know, if she asks, I'm going to do something, if she don't say nothing, then I'm not going to do nothing, you know, that could be it too. So, think that's a good number. But like other people say, like 3 months and all that, like nah, that's a short time now. 3 months can go like this, so that's no real number. That's why I put 8.
True.
Even 6 months. Again, it depends what you got going on. Everybody going to school, working, they traveling, they modeling, they going back and forth from state to state. I think that can add on more to it. But 8 months, I think, is a good number, where you kind of got an idea of what you want to happen next.
I like that, hubby. So cute. So cute.
She's the cutest. She's the sweetest.
Not all the time. I'm like a hurricane. Anyway, so guys, this is all we have for tonight.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you so much.
Subscribe.
Right, like, comment below, suggest.
Yes.
Drop questions. We all ears for it. We appreciate y'all tuning in for another vlog of MeMaOnCloudFetti. Y'all have a good night and stay tuned for the next joint.
Yes. Good night.
One more.